seen guys come in there, but not very often. So
Wow, look at
Novy,
that big backflip right there. Michael Novy, again, he's one of those guys that unfortunately didn't score well in his first 2 round heats, and here he is. He just wants to piece something together. Nice performance.
I know that's the Novy we love to see, isn't it? Those big backflips, and he does them with the best style. And this little wave, look how he hits it so cleanly, just straight over to it, legs crossed. He just rides out of that smoothly, spins it around really quick, and yeah, no, hopefully Novy goes well in this heat. So because his last heat.
Michael Novy, I asked him what was his favorite maneuver and why does he like it. He loves backflips, and it's obvious. He just pulled one off right there. He loves the feeling of flipping upside down and not knowing which way is up, and then landing backwards and then sliding it back around. So Michael Novy, I guarantee we will probably see another backflip from this kid from north of Oka.
Yeah, hopefully he gets another one. He loves doing those big lofty ones, so it's good to see him back in form, and just a shame he didn't get good results in his first 2 heats. You got a reef on the inside there. Here comes Mike after those 2 big inverts.
Mike Stewart, a legend, living legend in our sport. This guy has been around from the beginning of bodyboarding time, and big shout out. I always love seeing him on the beach in the water because you never know what to expect except for clean lines and deep barrels.
Oh, he's still the best probably barrel rider ever been, and he's still probably there now. So I'd love to see him. I'm not sure if he's going to get back on the qualifying tour next year or what his plans are, but I'd love to see him in some big barrels. Some amazing photos because he's still got it in him. But it'd be interesting to see what he does.
What's cool is Mike Stewart can walk up to any wave where it's just massive, and without saying a word, he commands respect. Anywhere from pipeline to chopu, even fronton, people will actually, back off and give him the respect that he earned, rightfully so.
I know, and have you ever seen him body surf?
Oh,
He's
amazing.
amazing.
Amazing. I think he's multi-world champion body surfer as well, and Pipeline is one of his favorite places to body surf. It's amazing to watch. Imagine seeing Mike Stewart doing what he does without a bodyboard. That's what he does when he body surfs.
Yeah, he even got voted in the top 50 best surfers in the world on any craft.
Yeah.
So he's the only bodyboarder to ever do that, and he probably will be the only bodyboarder to do that.
Yeah, so he's amazing. So Mike Stewart, shout out, and I wonder if he's gonna go home early and get back to his family.
Yeah, I'd be doing the same if I was him. So
yeah. That's the hardest part. We talked about that earlier. We just touched on it, and we were talking about the glamour of the pro bodyboarders. But there is also a tough part, and that's the other things involved that you don't see, in your face, and that's the traveling. That's the time away from your Novy with a reverse out the back. Again, though, a time away from your family, the time traveling, just some torture on your body, sleeping in airports, the whole behind the scenes kind of thing. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, you deal with it in different ways. Skype's been pretty amazing, so you can have interaction with your kids and your family. But I mean, I try and do the last minute in and out, so I get maximised time at home. And yeah, it gets pretty hard sometimes where you're jet lagged and you got to go out for your heat. Like you saw Hardy and Stoney arrived the night before, and they just went straight out, and Hardy won his heat, and he was just like, well, how do you do that? But yeah, it's best to try and get a day under your belt, because usually, I mean, it took me 45 hours to get here, so with all the weights, so it's a bit of a mission. So
exactly. So I'm sure Ryan Hardy and Jake Stone, so those guys probably did the same thing, 45, 36 hours or whatever it took. And the next day, did they even sleep is the question.
I know. Well, Hardy was up at 3:30 this morning.
Oh, my.
Driving into Las Palmas, getting some internet, so.
This is exactly where we're at. This is the Canary Islands. It is made up of 7 islands and a ton of inlets or islets, which are little tiny islands. But here we are, beautiful Google. I think this is a Google Maps, a Google Earth. But there you are. That is the big whitewash in the middle of your screen. That is Fronton, and all these plastic-covered buildings, I would say. This area, there's a lot of planterias. Those are banana plantations, and a lot of bananas are exported from this island. And it's just weird to be able to come out of a banana field and straight onto what you see here, Fronton, Agujero, and another awesome reef break.
You can just go grab a thing, just get a knife and cut them down.
No,
You don't want to do that. You get
no,
the
the
farmers
owner.
onto you.
Yeah, the owners will not like you for doing that.
Yeah.
Plus, there's walls, and you need to go in through a certain way. Look at this.
Yeah.
Tucking into the barrel is in blue, Hugo Pinheiro.
Not much to offer in the end of that wave for Hugo, but it's an all right start, I guess. Novy got a 5.25 for that backflip, so he's got the highest scoring wave of the heat so far. Only 7 minutes gone, but what's Amaury doing? He got that first one, but kind of got smashed. Maybe he's a bit rattled by that one, but I think he's in a situation where he needs a first or a second, so it's going to be epic to see what he does. He's such a good wave rider, and he just waits. These conditions I mean, he goes good in any conditions, but he can pull it out in these conditions. He just usually waits for a good wave to come through, and you'll see some big moves from him, I'm sure, in the next 23 minutes.
It's going to be very interesting to see all you guys who advance on, and if that swell comes, it's going to be it's going to be some serious, intense action out there to see this wave at that size and having a competition in there, because a lot of you guys are going to put everything on the line. Gastao and Entrudo.
Oh, it's a big bowl, big invert off the end. It's going to be tough to make, but he pulls it out. He almost looked like he was going to go a bit more inverted, but he kind of just got stuck in the lip, but he was able to throw it over. But I'm not too sure how much the judges are going to love this one.
Wow, 8 minutes have passed, and that was Gastao's actually, you know what, second wave, but it's only his real scoring wave. His first wave was just a 1.1, but because everybody else is scoring lower in this heat, he is currently in second place. The highest score in this heat so far is a 5.25, so a ton of time, and these riders, it's probably one of those slow heats.
Yeah, it is. It looks like, I think Gastao was getting caught inside there right in the middle of the reef. You can see the tide's going lower this afternoon, so it's getting more exposed on the inside, so you'll see a lot less lefts coming through. High tide, the lefts work really, really well, and people are hitting them and stuff like that, doing airs and getting barreled, but towards the end of the day today, it'll just mostly be the rights that the guys, look how shallow it's getting in there now, see those lefts? So, yeah, I'd say those guys will be wanting to go right more.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the lefts, I'm guessing. I agree with you, but there's going to be somebody who's going to see a left and want to hit that section on the inside, and they're probably going to end up on the reef, and that's somewhere you don't want to be.
Yeah, I know. A lot of guys have been hurt out here in the past few years. So, I mean, one time I got up last year really, really early and got down onto the rocks. As I was going down, it was still pretty dark. I just could see on the rocks, it's just pools of blood. And I was like, someone's already been hurt. And it was about 7 or 6:30 in the morning. So, here we go, current world champ. No paddle, you would have lost priority there. So, Amaury on the back foot, but I wonder if he rubs his chin for luck.
You never know.
It's got to serve a purpose.
He's got the goatee. All right, here we go, up and riding. This is Michael Novy coming around the section. Nice clean spin off the top, but that's all she wrote for Novy, and out the back he goes. So Novy, 5.25 and a 1.35 with first place on those two, you know, not so high scoring waves.
Yeah, his first 10 minutes has been pretty slow. Novy and Gastao are the only two pulling out a mediocre score, but I'm sure this next 20 minutes, hopefully it changes and pulses in for the boys to get some big airs.
All right, once again, welcome everybody. Manny V and Dave Winchester in the commentator's booth. This is round number 3, heat number 3, out in the water. These are 30-minute heats. Top 2 waves will be scored. And up and riding right now, Hugo Pinheiro from Portugal.
Still takes off on that little wedge and waiting for that section to come in, but just stalling it up there, but it just had nothing to offer. That was one of those waves where it looks good, but nothing was really happening for him.
Look like, is his hair still dry?
I think so. Maybe it just sticks up a bit.
All right, so Hugo Pinheiro in the blue jersey, currently in third place. Michael Novy leading the charge. Gastao Entrudo in yellow in second, and Amaury, he has a 1.5 wave. That's the only wave he has, so.
Maybe that first wave he got did rattle him. He went for a heavy roll through that lip, or maybe an invert, and it looked like he got pretty pounded, so maybe it's just rattled him, and then he lost priority for that other one, so it's He usually doesn't start the heat off like this. He's usually banged 2 sevens already, so
Yeah.
let's see if he can pull it out. Last year when he won the world title, he pulled out a lot like this. He did to me in one heat in Sintra, and yeah, wasn't loving it. But yeah, so he can do it in. He can get 2 good waves in the last 5 minutes, so he's that good. So we'll see what happens. Oh, and Amaury's currently in 20th on the leaderboard, so he really needs. He's on 6 points, so I'd say to be safe, he'd get a win. He'd definitely be safe, but a second he could be borderline on 10 points. So a third, he'd only end up on 8, and I'd say he'd be out on 8. No one's ever made it on 8.
So right now, Amaury needing that first or second place to get those points, and if he doesn't, that could be the end of the road for Amaury Lavernhe from Reunion Island. But you know what? He's situated in the 2012 seeded list, so he's okay with that. But he would like to do a great showing here in El Fronton.
Yeah, I was telling him that I was thinking about not coming to this event, and he's like, "You can't do that. It's Fronton. You can't do that." And I was like, okay.
Nice.
So here goes Hugo. He's looking for something on the end, but yeah, as we saw, the wave selection is critical, and he's just sort of getting those fat ones that I spoke about before. So you just want those really hollow wedgy ones on that inside middle of the reef. I guess what happens also when the tide starts to drop out, on those rights, they tend to get almost a bit fatter sometimes, unless there's a really strong wall and the swell's really west. So we got a bit of northwest swell here, so that's why it's pushing from your right to the left.
Ben Player getting ready for his heat, which is coming up next. Oh, this is going to be an insane one. We're going to see Jeff Hubbard, Ben Player, Joe Clark, and Kevin Orihuela coming up next. And Ben Player focusing. What's going through his mind right now?
He really needs a good result here, so he loves this wave and he wants to get it when it's at its prime, you know, big and heavy and clean. So he's just probably thinking, I don't know what he's thinking. Look at him, he's maybe thinking, I'd love a coffee. What do you think? I don't know. Yeah, not too sure what he's thinking. Maybe he's running, he's having a little stretch there. Look at him. He's really focused, isn't he? Look how serious he looks. Oh, have a little yawn. Maybe he wants a nap.
All right, the tide is dropping. The water is still blue and warm, and the riders are out there waiting patiently. This is one of those heats. We're going to have a couple of these throughout today, and that's when everything slows down just a little bit, low-scoring waves. So that's when it gets crucial. I would hate to be in one of these heats where you're trying to look for a 3.76, what Amaury is looking for right now, just to be in second place. So it's pretty nerve-wracking.
I know 15 minutes is nearly gone in this heat, and we haven't seen Novy's backflip being the best scoring wave at a 5.25. So, I mean, this heat is open to anyone. So,
all right. Hey, Winnie, we know you are coming up soon, so why don't we get Greg Taylor back in here and wish you luck. You want to say any last words before you take off?
Yeah, just thanks to my sponsors for sponsoring the event, and yeah, go on to grandflavor.com and buy some product, you know.
There you go.
Thanks a lot.
You got it. Good luck out there.
I'm going to go have a sleep.
He's coming up. Check this out. Right off the bat, Gastao Entrudo, and he's in and out of that wave. So Gastao is looking for a 2.66 to get into that first place spot. And it took a looking at that one on the inside, Gastao, but opts to back out. So we have Shaggy ready to rock and roll. Shaggy, where you at, big brother?
Hey guys, I'm down here at Sergio Alonso, the high-flying Venezuelan from our last heat. Sergio, felicidades, ganaste tu primera manga.
Bueno, muy feliz, muy emocionado. Esperé la buena ola y me lancé un inver de 7 puntos y pasé la siguiente ronda y de verdad que feliz, emocionado, estar aquí en Fronton, buen campeonato, el evento muy organizado, lo mejor de este año y buenas olas.
He's just saying, yeah, super happy, very excited. It's a really well-run contest, and he's just happy to have won a heat. Felicidades. ¿Quieres decir hola a tus amigos en Venezuela?
Bueno, un saludo a mi gente de Venezuela, a la gente de Isla de Margarita, a mi mamá y a toda mi familia.
Says hi to his family and friends back home. Back to you guys.
Sergio Alonso ends the competition with a bang, with a massive invert on the right hand, which I can't wait to see the photos and replay of that one. But as we're getting settled, Terry McKenna's getting settled back into the chair. Manny Vargas has a little bit of a break. And here we are in the heat. There's still just midway through the heat. Michael Novy's in first position from Australia with a 6.9. Second place, Gastao Entrudo is in second, from Portugal. The other Portuguese rider, Hugo Pinheiro, he's in third, and Amaury Lavernhe sitting in fourth. But up and riding, Tez, Hugo.
Yeah, some nice little left-handers starting to kick up. Actually seen a bit of an improvement with the tide starting to roll out here at Fronton. Starting to see some better sort of scoring potential in some of these waves this afternoon, Greg. And, it ended up being a pretty good decision, actually. We all got together with a lot of the riders, some of the local guys, and had a look at the forecast and just decided to push on here today because I guess, our major goal at the moment is to finish this contest. And you can see the graphic on screen at the moment. Our major goal here is to have the best possible conditions, and Tuesday the 13th, as you can see, the waves looking just amazing on that day. Also Wednesday, so somewhere around Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to look at sort of winding this thing up. Monday looks like our next best day after today. So yeah, we just decided to roll on with the competition, and our major focus, of course, is to finish with a bang. I'm just going to turn off my iPhone so nobody rings me. Oh, by the way, that's the new cover there. If you haven't got one of those for your iPhone S or your iPhone 4, then make sure that you do grab one from the shop. There's plenty of nice little goodies there for Christmas, Greg.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, IBA online shops starting to build out its range. I've got the hat on. We've seen the shirts that Manny Vargas has been kicking around in. Now you've talked about the iPhone cover, and the thing I'm most excited about is we've got the beanies as well, but the calendar. Check this out, Tez.
Yeah.
It's got some of the best images taken by Sasha Specker, Ray Collins, Seamus Mackham of this year's World Tour. But more importantly, as you can see there, it's got the dates. See marked in blue, the dates of each of the events for the year. Not just the men's Grand Slam, also the Global Qualifying Series dates, the Women's World Tour dates, and the Drop Knee World Tour dates.
Yeah,
it's
very
a must
simple.
have, Terry, for Christmas.
Yeah, awesome. And, such a great little inclusion to throw up on the wall for the year. All you got to do is swipe the credit card and, knock on the door. A couple of days later, you'll have yourself one of those beautiful little calendars. But right now, we're into the all-important third round of the GSS leaderboard. Hugo Pinheiro from Portugal, really looking to try and get a good result here. He came here with, very high hopes to try and qualify, as we see this nice little wave here for Amaury Lavernhe. And
Wow.
Boom, big ARS off that end section for Amaury as he ducks underneath. Some on the left starting to kick up here at the moment, offering some nice little scoring potential. But that was Amaury's second wave. Once that one locks in, Greg, we'll have all four surfers with 2 waves apiece, and that gives you a much better indication as to what's happening in the heat.
Yeah, slow start to the heat, Terry, but starting to build up now. Still 10 minutes to go, and as you said, scores are dropping. Amaury Lavernhe got a 4.85 for that last wave, enough to move into second, but it's so close. Hugo's first, Michael Novy's second. To go into first, he only needs a 2.35. Amaury Lavernhe, he's in third. He only needs a 2.75 to go into first. And Gastao Entrudo, same situation, needs a 3.35 and he's first. You can see the Portuguese riders in yellow and blue, Hugo and Gastao having a bit of a chat out there. And there's Seamus Mackham on the Red Bull ski out the back, getting the best water footage. And hats off to Seamus. Cannot believe it. He spends the whole 8 hours in the water, doesn't even come in for a break. He just sits there and powers on.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's an absolute machine. Mate, I actually just went to the kiosk and bought him a ham and cheese roll, a bottle of water and a chocolate, which Sasha Specker put into a plastic bag so he can go out there and eat. But he's just an incredible waterman, all around, one of the best I've ever seen, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. And look, a few scenarios playing out here, Terry. It's that all-important round 3 of the leaderboard. And we've got Amaury Lavernhe. He's currently sitting on 6 points. He wants to come first to guarantee himself a place in the round of 16. But a second place finish will put him on the cusp, on the bubble. Unfortunately for Michael Novy, there's nothing he can do here that will see him through. He had 2 fourth place finishes in the earlier rounds, so he's surfing for a bit of pride and exposure now, but here he goes.
Yeah, speak of the devil, and the devil appears in the form of that man from the Central Coast of New South Wales. Grew up on the Sunshine Coast, up around Jake Stone's way. Moved down to the Central Coast a couple of years ago to try and get a little more juice bit more experience over the reefs. Of course, the northern part of Queensland there just infamous for its beach breaks, but not a lot of heavy reef breaks there. So Michael moved down south a couple of years back and really paid dividends. In fact, it almost, was the end of him when he, broke his neck there at Banzai on the Central Coast last year. It was an amazing comeback from such a heavy injury. And we quite often see that. That's a nice replay of Novy's last wave. And we'll just wait for those scores to come through from the judges. But, really nice combination surfing there. Enough to take him into the lead with a 5.65 for that last one of Novy. So it's Michael Novy in the lead, Pinheiro in second, Gastao and Entrudo in third, and Amaury Lavernhe sitting in fourth spot. But a 6.05 would take into the lead, mate. And the current world champion is, he eats those things for breakfast.
Oh, most definitely, Tez. And again, the scenarios, Amaury doesn't want to finish in fourth. We know that because he'll be out of the competition. But a first or second place will put him in contention. Michael Novy, as we mentioned, he's out of contention, but he's leading this heat. Gastao and Entrudo, he's probably the best placed. He's currently on 7 points. A second place finish for Gastao will be probably enough to get him through to the round of 16. But up and rider in blue, Hugo, got caught up. Look, he got under the lip and did a nice roll. He's in second position. And he's looking for a 6.8 to move into first. And if he got that first place position, he is in contention to sit on the bubble and get into the round of 16. But let's wait and see. But at the moment, Michael Novy, if he sits there in first place, he's going to upset the apple cart. He's going to really upset a couple of people. He can't make it through to the round of 16, but he can be the blocking agent. But while we've got a break in the action, Terry, let's have a word from our sponsors.
Okay, well, there's Manny Vargas. Just, congratulating Mike Stewart. Mike, of course, looks like he's going to finish 17th on this year's tour. That's not enough to secure him a spot on next year's Grand Slam Series. There is still hope for Mike Dunn. Hey, there's Manny Vargas. Look, payola is alive and living. I've never seen someone suck so much free stuff out of the industry as Manny Vargas. He just knows how to work it, doesn't he, hey?
Yeah, no, Manny Vargas, he loves the camera too, and Manny Vargas, I actually think that jacket, Terry, he came here to meet the locals on the first day. Up and surfing, we have Michael Novy.
Yeah, well, there's Novy. Amaury Lavernhe in the interim got a 7.25 whilst we were having a look at that little ad break. Nice little ad break, by the way, of Chatty Jackson from Grand Flavour. So Amaury Lavernhe moved into the lead with a 7.25. We'll just wait for that last score to come through for Novy, and we'll give you the situation update. Right now, Greg, there's 5.5 minutes remaining, and the next heat in the water will be a cracker. It's going to feature Jeff Hubbard, Ben Player, Joey Clark, and Kevin Oliwela. The local Canary kid will be out there as well. We've got stacks of action coming your way, folks, so don't go anywhere.
Yes, most definitely, Terry. But look, let's look at the action in the water right now. 5 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. Amaury Lavernhe has leapt back into first place with a 7.25 ride. We hope to get a highlight of that, but let's have a look at the action now. Nothing out there. But, yeah, so with that scenario, Terry, you've got Amaury Lavernhe is in first place. If he can hold on to that position for the next 5 minutes, he will push his way through to round 4 of the competition. That'll be enough. Amaury Lavernhe sitting on 6 points. He'll get an additional 6 points for winning this heat. That would be 12 points. But it's 5 minutes to go. Very early to be calling that.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Novy only chasing a 6.46. Hugo needs an 8 to take the lead off him, and a 7.85 from Gastao and Entrudo. Listen, we do have some people online and checking it out, sending through some Cheerios. One of them is, of course, Catarina Souza from Portugal. G'day, Cata. Glad you're watching the webcast back there in Portugal. She says, go to Hugo and Gastao and never give up. Enjoy and good luck. Also, shout out to Gabriel Gelder. He's a friend of mine from Venezuela. He said Shaggy did a nice job with the translation on that last one. And, of course, the Sunshine Coast Bodyboard Club sending out their Cheerios to their member, Michael Novy. Don't forget, if you miss any of the action, folks, you can check it out on our IBA YouTube channel. And you can check out Heats on Demand, and there's a stack of other pretty cool stuff there. You can go right back through the year that was 2011, and what a year it's been, Greg.
Oh, most definitely, Terry. And that is where you're going to find the phantom footage from this contest. The final day will be on the IBA channel. So youtube.com/IBA World 2 will get you to the channel. But the best thing to do, Terry, is subscribe. Put your name down, and when a new clip drops, you'll be the first one to know about it, and you'll be able to check it out. We've had an amazing response to this channel. We've seen over 1 million views in the last couple of months. Amazing. It's some of the best bodybuilding footage you'll ever see, and I just can't wait to see some of the highlights out of this. But what's going to be most memorable is the highlights package of the world champion being crowned at Fronton, 1,000 frames per second on the Fronton, on the Phantom camera. It's, subscribe just for that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's incredible, actually. We, checking out the Shark Island DVD last night, came on the latest magazine Down Under, and mate, the Phantom camera is just an incredible little machine that thing is, and you can get a real look at the world's best in super slow-mo, 1,000 frames per second. Hey, Jared Gibson online also, Greg, this is pretty funny, says, hey Tez, hook me up, brother, I need a calendar for the shaping bay.
Yeah,
So
I'll tell you how to hook you up, Jared. How about you jump online and purchase one? That's the best way to do it. Michael Novy up and riding. Here we go. Bang, nice. He just pulls it round. Well done. Good to see Novy surfing so well after such a slow start to the competition. And look, he needs a 6.46 to move into first place. I don't know, Terry.
Well,
what does he have to say?
Mate, that is going to be close. That was a pretty good, strong technical manoeuvre right in the pocket. I don't know if it's a 6.46, but we'll wait and see. Amaury Lavernhe. This is the instant reply from the current world champion. Flashy little invert, but some of those ones with those cross wedges there can be very tricky. And that time round, it was a bit of an unrewarded finish for Amaury Lavernhe. So wait for these scores to come through. They look like they're going to be a bit shy for Michael Novy, so I don't think it's going to be enough to change the situation. So Amaury Lavernhe, with about 2 minutes, is still leading the seat, ahead of Novy, who still will chase. There it is there, 5.35 last to Novy. Not enough, he needed that 6.46. Hugo Pinheiro, well, he's in first priority at the moment, needing a 6.95. That's a bit dangerous with around 1.5 minutes remaining. Here's the replay for Michael Novy's last wave.
Look, Michael Novy gets up there and flips it round. Great work, great style as they do from the sunny coast. He's a bit of a fight there to pull it around, and that's probably hurt his score a little bit. 5.35, it wasn't enough. Second place, very credible. But I guess this last couple of minutes, it comes down to, can Gastao jump into second place? He needs a 6.8 in the last 70 seconds to move into second place and get himself in the final 16 of this competition, Terry. So all eyes are on Gastao. Can he do it? Hugo, he needs to win this heat to progress through. So Hugo's looking for an 8.0 in the last minute. The Portuguese, man, they've got all the pressure on them. They're great competitors and great riders, so fingers crossed they can do it. But as time runs out, 50 seconds remaining. Can Amaury Lavernhe hold on and qualify through? Michael Novy's asking for a score update, or maybe a time update. I know you can't hear us, Novy, but it's about 40 seconds to go, mate. So
yeah, that's right. Well,
you need a 6.46. So, but I think it's the Portuguese guys who are getting a bit edgy in the water there.
Yeah,
Hugo needs an 8.
Yep, and 30 seconds remaining. I tell you what, the Portuguese are such incredible competitors, Greg. They're so, competitive by nature. Similar sort of to the Brazilians, I guess, which have just got it in the blood. And you can see Novy just sitting wide there. He's clearly not in a priority situation. So we're down to about 10 seconds remaining. Boys scrambling around out the back. Last throw of the dice here for Amaury Lavernhe, and that's about it as the beach announcer counts down this one, and it's all over, folks, with Amaury Lavernhe picking up 6 points. Michael Novy took home the 4 points. 2 points went to Hugo Pinheiro, and Gastao Entrudo picked up 1 point for his effort there in what was a very entertaining heat. That was round 3, heat number 3 here at the Fronton Pro. All thanks to NMD, the guys at Stealth, and thank you very much.
Pride.
Of course, to Pride. Eminol and the guys doing a fantastic job.
Most definitely. And Terry, just to run down the scenario, there are the final results. Amaury Lavernhe, first place, 6 points, will progress through to the round of 16. He will be stoked. His big following will be stoked. Unfortunately, we say goodbye to Michael Novy, Hugo Pinheiro and Gastao Entrudo. That is the end of the competition for them.